We are live. Okay, so let's do, it's Astrid live.
Yes.
Okay, hold on, I can comment here. Why is it saying turn off commenting?
I don't know.
Do I have to wait for the
Yeah,
first
I think
comment?
maybe we need to.
Wait for one comment. Astrid.
Is there a woman here? Or are you guys okay? Can we turn it make it a little cooler?
Sure.
Live.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
The artists would enjoy it and appreciate it.
code, hold on, code. I'm gonna go Astrid live for 25% off?
25, yeah.
25% off sunscreen.
Guitar in the background?
What's that?
Play the guitar.
Yeah, live music.
So I'm gonna post. Hi Christian, how you doing?
Christian.
Hey Deb. I am just gonna pin this comment. Okay, perfect.
Super excited.
We
for
are
our
all
guest
excited.
today.
Yep. We have Astrid coming on.
Yes.
And she is a Miami girl.
Yeah.
Oh, there she is. Yay. You want to sit here? What? But you can't. But we want you to join us.
There we go.
Oh,
Here she's
coming. Okay, 1 minute. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'll get a drink. Let's see. So we're waiting for Astrid to join. She already just linked up, so it should be any second now that she'll be here.
Mm-hmm.
And we will start our live.
Another behind the beauty.
Let's see.
It
Hey,
says wait,
Astrid.
it says waiting.
Astrid, it says we're waiting for you. Should we cancel that? I think you have to.
Well, wait, let's see. I feel like we should give it a minute.
It takes a while.
It's funny. Anytime you watch the beginning of people's lives, like on Instagram, it's always a little awkward because the people are all up in the camera and they're like, okay.
I requested to join. We pressed, we accepted it, and now it says waiting for you. You want us to cancel it and redo it? Oh,
Maybe she'll redo.
Or maybe she pressed it. I requested to join.
Let's see.
What if we go to her? Can we?
Yeah.
What is that little? What's that person thing right there? This thing.
I think it's filters.
Ooh, put a good one.
I know, right? Let's see.
It said invite expired.
Damn, okay, we'll try it again.
Hey Justin, how do you get someone on here if her code expired? Can you try Astrid again to ask? Let me press her and see what happens.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, here, go live.
Yes.
Oh. Okay, Astrid, I just pressed going live with you.
Oh, connecting.
Yay! Okay, let me see. Okay, let me back up. Okay, sorry, I was like all up in my phone trying to figure out what's going on. Hello, ladies.
Hi.
How are you? Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you for being here.
All right, how's the West Coast?
Yeah, did you lighten your hair? It looks
I
good.
did. I gave in. I actually had gone 2 years and 6 months without doing anything to my hair.
Wow.
So it was a big deal for me. It was actually like a huge deal. I felt so bad with like getting to the hairstylist because I was like, okay, I have not done anything to my hair. So literally you cannot mess it up.
Right. So
it looks awesome.
How long, you said over 2 years, and before were you like brunette, blonde? What was the hair situation before?
So before, over processed, burnt, I can't even give you a hair color because I was blonde 1 week, brunette the next, extensions, then I would remove the tape extensions, put on like the micro extensions, then do the Sony extensions, remove that, then go back to dark hair. And it was because I just had that like unhealthy hair habits that I just decided to go like absolutely like I was like, I need like AA for hair. I was like, I need to go on a hair journey. So that's pretty much a little bit about that. How's the West Coast?
It's nice, warm, beautiful.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
you have a former Miami resident here.
Yeah, I used to live there.
Right. So you went, I saw that you are UM grad.
Yeah, we went to Jackson Memorial. Well, did our residency at Jackson Memorial. So we lived in South Beach for like 12 years, and that was like our stomping ground.
That's
Where
amazing.
do you live there? Like what area?
I live kind of like Dayland, Pinecrest area down south.
Yeah.
So I'm a little more south than the University of Miami.
Okay.
I'm deep into Miami. I'm deep
Yeah.
south.
Love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I love the area, but I haven't been back since. Well, we were there in February.
Oh, okay,
But,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So, what? Your hair's so nice and straight. Do you have keratin in it, or is it?
I don't. I guess we could jump into talking about hair since that's, I guess,
Yeah.
the first
Yeah.
thing that we that came up. So yeah, I went on like, it was a New Year's that I decided to just do that, go on like a healthy hair journey, and stopped kind of like over processing like anything that was like hair dye, anything that was just like damaging, even like hot tools. For a while I said no hot tools. If I was going to use hot tools, I would do it like at minimum heat with a heat protectant, all that kind of stuff. So after 2.5 years of pretty much just me using and I'm not vegan, but I stuck to like vegan hair products, non-toxic, like nothing with harmful chemicals or toxins and things like that. I decided to, like, you know, I stuck to that, and honestly, my hair completely just transformed. Before it used to take me like an hour and 45 minutes between like blow drying and ironing my hair. And now it just takes me,
outside. 5
Right.
seconds outside, and it's like ruined.
it's exactly. So you take all this time and then you go out into this humidity and it's like, it goes all to shit. Exactly. But now I could honestly blow dry my hair. This is like blow dried with no hot tools, literally and I freaking love my hair. I use the Monet products, which eventually it turned into a whole business thing because people started just consistently asking me about my hair. They were like, what did you do to your hair? Like, how did you get it so healthy? And, you know, I was like, might as well just dive into the whole business side of it. But we could get into that a little bit later.
Are you naturally straight, or that you have?
No,
Wow.
so
Yeah.
curly.
Oh my God.
I'm really, really curly. I'm really, really curly. But this is just blow dried. Before, to get my hair like this, I would have to like really flat iron it, like straight flat iron. Now I'm just with a good blowout. It's fine.
That's great.
So what are the products that you like for your hair that you just like swear by that you have to have?
Swear. Okay, so I'm like, I love switching out my shampoos and conditioner. I stick to the Monique brand, so I'm like, you know, I stick to them. I love our smoothing shampoo and conditioner. It's kind of like my favorite, and it's kind of that, we call it kind of like a keratin in a bottle. It's, you know, it helps people that have really frizzy hair, people that have curls. It helps them bring their curls back. So I love the smoothing line, the smoothing shampoo and conditioner. I think that's what I washed my hair with this time, and I think it just helps with that to avoid all that frizz and anything like that. When I jump out of the shower, I live by like 3 or 4 products. We have something called Rejuva Beads, which is a split end mender. And it does that. Like, it mends your split ends. Granted, it's not magic. It's not like you use the split end mender and you would never have to cut your tips again. That's not the way it works. It's kind of like a styling tool. So for that, for like that blowout, you know, and then eventually like it'll wear off, you know. I love a blowout cream. The blowout cream reduces the blowout time in more than half. So instead of it taking me like an hour to blow dry my hair, when I use that blowout cream, it takes me like 25 minutes to 30 minutes. So that's amazing to me.
So you put on damp hair and then you blow dry. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. And then I like to put like I like to put in, once I'm done blow drying, I like to put in the Rejuvenique oil, which is like an oil that we have, and it's like, I think the crown jewel. It's, most of our products are infused with Rejuvenique oil. And I have it here. I use this for literally everything. It has 100, and let me see where the name is. Oh my God, sorry, my bottle's so dirty.
Okay.
It literally has 101 uses, and that's even, I use this oil for my hair for everything except cooking.
Okay.
And that's a
But
little
this is what I
powder.
use like as lipstick. I just use like my oil.
Nice.
What is it, like a dropper, or is it like what?
Mhm. Yeah, so it is. It's just like a little
Oh, cute.
dropper,
Yeah.
and I use it for everything. It's liquid gold. Exactly. That's what I call it. It's
Yeah. So what kind of oil is it? You said, what is it?
so it's a blend. It's 13 different essential oils. And they are all compatible with the hair and the skin. So it's absolutely amazing. When I go do my nails, I use it around my cuticle. So it's awesome.
Does it have a scent? No.
I don't think so. No, it
No?
smells good. It smells
Yeah.
good,
I need
but
that.
it's not like minty or anything like that.
Right.
It's nice. It's nice and it's smooth. Are you guys sipping on something? I feel like I feel like I definitely should have gotten a drink, but I'll have one after.
We'll drink for you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So we heard it was your birthday last week. Happy belated birthday.
It was.
We're
It was.
drinking to your
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Cheers. That's awesome.
What I was saying was, living in Miami, I know July, the baseline of temperature, even at 3 a.m, is about 91 degrees. I remember always seeing my thermostat in my car, 91 degrees, no matter what time of the day, except during the day when it shoots up from that, especially if you're in the sun. And I just remember doing my makeup, doing my hair, walking outside to go get my mail, and everything's like dripping and ruined, and I'm wiping. And I'm like, I can't imagine right now with COVID having to actually go outside and have a mask on too. So how are you doing that?
It's honestly a little bit gross because it's crazy because so I'm also a speech pathologist. Today I went to work and I like to, put a little bit of makeup or whatever. And like anytime I take off my mask, I see like my makeup and it's like, I sweat. So then, I was outside, I was getting some things from my car and I'm just like, I see like, to me, it's just disgusting. So like once I went into my office, I put on like a new mask and then I use the shield. So anytime I feel a little gross, I like take it off and just use the shield instead. But crazy, a lot of my girlfriends have been complaining of like breakouts because of the mask and the sweat.
She has
really?
Yeah.
So,
like on our nose and stuff like that.
Yeah, I have breakouts here where the mask sits, and then like here where it kind of like wraps around my face.
And we're not really sweating that much here. I mean,
Yeah.
in all honesty, like it's not, the weather dips down at night and it's comfortable, and in the office it's cold. So, but it bothers us too.
Yeah, no, the humidity doesn't help. And I'm just praying for better days like ASAP because I am extremely over it. It's really scary. The cases are really like hitting close to home. So many people that I know have, been in the hospital, have had, are going through COVID, and then now it's like COVID pneumonia, and it's just like a lot of things going on. And definitely like for me, the mask is uncomfortable, but
you're gonna wear it.
But I want to wear it, so yeah, it is uncomfortable. I find it a little bit gross. I get my makeup on it, but I still feel like I'm doing my part.
Are people like still going to the beaches? Are people still going to the bars? Like, what's it like in South Beach, like right now?
No, bars are closed. Restaurants are closed unless they have outdoor seating. South Beach,
Lincoln Road closed. I heard they closed Next Cafe. I'm like, what? That was like a staple of Lincoln Road. How can
they've closed down so many businesses? It's like, it's sad. It's really sad. It's tough times, and today my mom and my father went to eat, and they were like, you know, we went to this Peruvian restaurant that we really, really love. And my mom was like, you know, we were probably there for like over an hour, like us like talking and eating, and we were the only people there.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it's also like uncomfortable. I had a reservation last weekend, on Friday actually, to go eat with one of my girlfriends, and then it started to rain. So then they called us and they're like, sorry, like we're gonna have to cancel our reservations because it's only outdoor seating that's allowed, and now it's raining outside. So
Yeah,
it's
with
just like
hurricanes.
if it's not one thing, it's the other.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You go.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask about the Like a Boss.
Yeah. you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Okay. So we know you have a lot of different platforms and
Which I
and
love.
things like that, which is great. And I came across this Like a Boss site on Instagram. Then Ashley also mentioned it as well. So can you talk about what is Like a Boss and how did you come up with that?
So, like I said in the beginning of our conversation, I decided to go on that hair journey, which eventually I turned it. I ended up, you know, when I purchased the products, I purchased from somebody that was in this company, Monate. It's a multi-level marketing business, and I was using the products. I was in love with them, but I always like was little. How do I say, like, I always judged people that would do multi-level marketing, right? I was always like, no, and you hear things like it's a pyramid, it's this, it's that. But when I actually like really ended up falling in love with the products and everybody started asking me like, what is it that you're doing to your hair, this and this and that, I was like, okay, now I'm just like going to send somebody else business, you know? So I was like, forget it. I'm just going to start doing and see where it would take me. Once I joined the business and started posting about it and posting about the business opportunity, I started, you know, growing a community of women that were, I guess, like really inspired or empowered to start their own business, because that's essentially what it is. Multi-level marketing, it's your own business. You run it yourself. You do what you can with it. So I started growing a team of women who joined the business under my name. So I was technically like their Monate sponsor. And now I'm like a leader, right? Now I have to inspire these girls and train and motivate them to keep going, because I don't want somebody to join a business and invest into something that I made them believe in, and then me just like kind of throw them there and have them figure it out. I didn't want to do that. So through that, I created this Like a Boss team, and I just remember sitting there on my bed, and I was like, you know, I wanted to create like a page where I could have for the girls, you know, on the team, that I could, you know, post their success, like kind of give recognition, shout outs and all this stuff. And I wanted to keep this separate from my personal page, because I do have other endeavors, right? So I'm a therapist, I'm doing a couple of other things. So it was just like too cluttered. And I was sitting there and I was just pretty much like just looking up things. The name Like a Boss came up. And what started off as a little team of me pretty much getting on these calls with like 1, 2, 3 girls has now grown to calls that I max out like at 500, 1,000 people.
Wow.
And it's people just, you know, training, and they're killing it. We have 3 girls on the team picking up their paid for Cadillacs this month.
Wow.
We have, you know, so many girls that are already making,
Wait,
you know.
back up. What do you mean 3 girls picking up their paid for Cadillacs?
Astrid's
Who's
got
paying?
one, right?
Who's paying for this Cadillac?
Right. So it's one of the incentives. With the company. Once you reach a specific rank, the company pays for your car. So it's awesome. Yeah, it's one of the perks. So I have 3 girls that are on our team that are doing that this month, which is, to me, it's, you know, like, right. When I first started the business, I started it from like a very like superficial and selfish place, because honestly, I started using the products because I was unhappy with the way my hair looked and I just wanted pretty hair. And then when I got really into the business and I started noticing like how my life was changing, I realized that if I took this seriously and I guided girls or men the right way, I could help them change their lives too. And it became like a plan, it became like a mission, it became just like something that I'm like, you know what? I am really going to set myself out to really empowering and pushing these people to take this business seriously because
Uh-oh.
it changed my life. I know that it could change theirs. So Like a Boss label turned out to be a community. It's like a community, it's a team. It's my family. It's like an extended family now. And it's just it's amazing. It's amazing to see like how many lives have been changed. And it's, you know, it's simple things like, you know, you say like a paid for Cadillac, like, okay, whatever, it's a paid for car. But then when you start putting things into perspective of who like these people are that are getting these cars, it's like a single mom of 3 who, you know, is now able to enter a place where she has a little bit more freedom to give her children more. It's a single mother who's gonna have, you know, an extra couple $100s more a month to be able to spend on her child, you know. So to me, those are the things that really started to matter. So that's really like what Like a Boss is. It's not just like being a boss and being bougie and like talking about it and not being about it. It's ultimately like being a boss. And to me, a boss is a leader. It's somebody that gives back. It's somebody that's full of gratitude, somebody that wants to like empower, inspire, and uplift others. So I think that's kind of like what Like a Boss is. It's became a community and like an extended family of mine, pretty much, you know. And then hopefully Like a Boss could eventually turn into something else another day, you know, because now I'm just like, maybe I'll sell some Like a Boss gear, you know. I
Right.
don't know what's
It's
gonna
a
turn
good
into.
network of people. I mean, have you found that with the COVID and with Zoom, or that you're able to connect with a lot more people because you can get on one call and have so many people also connect to that call?
Yeah, I think, you know, through this time, I mean, we were using Zoom from before COVID happened, so it was great because I already had it all figured out and I had my account all set up. But it definitely lets you connect with people from all over the world. You know, now we have teams like in London, in Canada, in the West Coast, we're all over the place. So having access to Zoom is definitely so helpful. But also before COVID, we used to have like in-person events, in-person trainings, and other things that I really, really do miss. I love that human interaction, connection. Like, I love what we're doing, but I'm like, damn, I wish we were in the same room and I was drinking with
Right.
you ladies. So yeah, definitely during this time, it's been able to give us access to everything.
How has working with that brand and kind of starting the Like a Boss label? I know you said it's changed so many other women's lives, but how has it like changed your life?
Oh my goodness. You know, I think when I joined the business, like I said, it's not that I was in a bad place because I've always pretty much been like very like focused on my goals. I've always been very driven. But it took me to another place mentally. I think this business helped me prioritize and really identify my why. I feel like I was always, you know, going to school, you know, getting my degree, like always just following kind of like what I felt society wanted me to do and quote unquote like the right things to do. But I didn't really know why I was doing all of this. And I think, you know, through this business, not only has it, I mean, obviously I have reached a level of financial freedom that, you know, I didn't have before. So obviously financially it's changed my life. It's, you know, it's taken me to a whole different place financially. But when I really like stop it, and it's really important because I don't want to like sound like I don't give a shit about nice things, because I really, really do like nice things. So like, I don't want to like anybody to listen and be like, girl, no, like don't get it twisted. I love nice things and I love all of that. But when you really put things into perspective, just the amount of personal development that I've done, you know, like all that personal development, like all that mindset shift, like, and I've owned other businesses before, and now I realize why those businesses didn't work out, because my mindset just wasn't there. So I really think that this company has just changed my life because of that. Like, you know, I've reached financial freedom. I've done a huge amount of personal development. Like, the person that I was when I started this business is definitely not who I am today. And it's also given me like it's humbled me down, because it's been hard work, you know. Like, I don't think anything easy comes overnight. I've had to be consistent. I've had to be like on top of my team, on top of the girls, you know. And I'm sure you ladies as business owners know that it's definitely not an easy task. So I think it's humbled me down a lot. And I think sometimes we need that. We need that humility.
Does the company only sell hair care products, or do they have a different?
We have hair and skin. We have hair and skin. So we have a skincare line, which I use. I also love that. But I think ultimately, like, which is funny because I know you ladies are all about the skin stuff. I try to really, like, I'm so obedient and so consistent with my hair, but with my skincare stuff, you know, I try to be consistent, but I'm definitely the type of person that will, like, sometimes fall asleep without my nighttime moisturizer. I'm like guilty of that.
That's right here. I'm like super good about it.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you set like a reminder? Do you like tell yourself, like, you can't sleep right without it? Like,
I can't sleep right without it. I cannot sleep right without it.
Oh, I just got rid of
It's like a total thing for me. I don't know what it is, but I struggled with acne. This was like when I was working on TV and all of that. So I've had like really bad acneic skin before. And I feel like anytime someone goes through that and then their skin is clear again, you never take clean skin. Sorry, I can't talk. I've only had one drink. You never take like clear skin for granted, you know? Like, it's just, so for me, that's what makes it super easy, just because my skin has been so bad and now it's, you know, pretty good. And so I just want to like keep it that way.
Right. I was going to say, like, I don't think if you would have ever mentioned that anybody would have thought you ever had acne.
Her skin looks amazing.
I got pictures of like old skin and I think people would be shocked. And one of my girlfriends is like, Ashley, if you posted it before and after, it would for sure go viral, because it was like so bad. So bad. Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you think the trick is, you know? And I've seen like some really amazing before and after pictures too of like the Monat products. And I'm actually really, like, I have one of my nieces, she has little bit of acne. Do you think like consistently getting facials, like scrubs, peelings, do those things actually, do you think help a lot when you have acne?
So I personally think that if you overstrip your skin by doing too many of the things, you end up overproducing oil and then you end up clogging more. One of the most important things to do is use something that will increase your cell turnover, like a retinol product. I mean, that's really important for people that have acne, so their skin doesn't plug up. You know, do you guys have retinol? How is yours medical grade skincare, or is it?
It's not medical grade. We have all our products are plant-based. So everything is like, even our acids, it's plant-based acids. With our product that has Cockadoo Plum, it's like 15% of vitamin C. I feel like it's like an amazing source of vitamin C. But it's not medical grade.
Okay.
That is one thing too, that especially as I've gotten older, you know, I've definitely, obviously with YovinoMD, you know, have invested in medical grade skincare, and that has made a significant difference in my skin, just because the formulations are stronger, the results are actually proven. And so that's something that for me, since we've developed this line, like, that I've noticed as far as texture and the surface and everything like that, my skin just has continued to get better when I know like a lot of, you know, maybe my girlfriends and things like that, if they're not really investing in medical grade skincare and things, it's not that it's gotten worse, but it's nice to
Not getting better.
thrive and have like better skin than when I was like 33 or, you know, so it's,
Right.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also feel like it also depends because what's the name of this brand that I used to use? I don't even remember the name.
Would you
wish I
remember
could.
some of the products?
It's like a white little bot I was using. Was it like SkinCeuticals? Is that?
SkinCeuticals, yep.
Okay.
Oh,
So
gosh.
I like their
I'm for
products.
white.
Like I'm not like a picky person, right?
Mhm.
But like I did feel like I've never had acne. I might like during the time of like my menstrual cycle, I might get like a little like built up like here in my
Mhm.
chin or maybe like slight little things, but I don't have like too much acne. I don't have anything. I've never used anything. I don't do chemical peels. I don't do any of that stuff. So
Wow.
to me, I felt like the products that I was using were really,
Mhm.
really strong for me. So, you know, I think with like skincare, I am like a little bit more cautious than I am with hair care, just because I feel like skin is like different, right?
Mhm.
And I'm ultimately not not an esthetician, right? So when it comes to skincare, I feel a little bit more comfortable
Mhm.
either recommending something that I know is not so harsh, but then when I do have people that have like really, really bad acne, I'm like, okay, maybe you need something a little stronger. Another thing that I actually always recommend, and we don't have that, is sunscreen. I
Yeah.
feel like, and I always tell people this. People are like, oh my God, your makeup looks so pretty. Like, what do you do? And I'm like, look, first of all, before I ever put on a face full of makeup, I do my skincare routine. Like, you know, I feel like the number one step for good makeup, or the first step for good makeup, is skincare. And people
Right.
just like
Love that.
skip that, right? You think you're just gonna buy foundation, and then just because you're buying Fenty, you're gonna have Rihanna's skin. That's really not realistic. That's not the way that it works. You have to have good skincare, like a good skincare routine. You're spending all this money on a good foundation, but instead, why don't you invest into a good skincare routine so that way you have good skin and have to use less makeup, right? And
Like
another
music
thing,
for our ears.
Right.
right? I'm like, why do you have to, you know, if your skin looks great, you don't have to use all of that. And then another thing that I like, I'm a huge fan of, is permanent makeup. And I think that's like my thing. And I freaking have a glare from this light, which I'm like
Have you
trying
done
to
like
move.
the lip blush and like what have you
Yeah,
done?
so I don't use lipstick. I just use my Rejuvenate oil because my lips are blushed. You know,
Okay.
that's like kind of like what I do. That's one of like my favorite like things. And the same thing with my eyebrows. So
I
my
was gonna
eyebrows,
ask.
yeah, my eyebrows are, I do combo brows.
Microblade?
So it's like microblading with powder brows. So I feel like really, if I take care of my skin,
Right.
I
You don't
have
need
my
anything.
brows, I have my lips. All I really need is like a little bit of mascara, and what I use is CC cream, like like a CC cream and a little bit of blush. But before I do anything, the first thing that I do is that I apply sunscreen, and I feel like that's the step that most women skip.
For sure.
And so maybe you ladies can tell me about your sunscreen, because I'm starting to use it. I'm super excited. I opened it up and I'm like ready to talk to all things sunscreen, especially because here in Miami, it is a necessity.
Yeah.
So we have two different
Want me to get
sunscreens. Yeah, she's going to run and grab it. We have two different sunscreens, and I think we sent you the tinted one, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So that is the physical tint. And so there's two different kinds of sunscreen. There is the physical like blocker, and then there's a chemical blocker. And this is technical, but the physical blocker sits on top of the skin and it shields, like your CC cream. Is it Clinical? Your
I have
CC
no
cream?
idea.
Okay.
I have no
Well,
idea if
the
it's
CC cream,
clinical.
yeah, they typically have zinc and titanium in that. And what they do is they like reflect the rays off of your skin. And that is a physical blocker. And we also have this Sports Defense, which is a chemical blocker, and that one absorbs in to your skin. So if you're in the water, you're outside sweating, you're this, you're that, that one absorbs in and changes the rays, converts the rays to heat in your skin, and then you know, sweat that off, or it dissipates. So it's good for like your climate. It's good if you're in the water and swimming. So it's great for that. And
so would you recommend having like both, maybe using the tinted one like on a day-to-day, like even if I'm gonna use a little bit of makeup, and then whenever I go to like the beach or go outside or go for my runs, use the sports one?
Right, absolutely.
Okay, awesome.
And the great thing about these is they are, you know, medical grade. They are dermatologically tested. They're not tested on animals, and they're free of parabens, sulfates, and formaldehyde.
Oh my God, I love that. This so aligns with me. I love it. And it's crazy because like I said in the beginning, I was never like I'm not a vegan or anything like that, but I just really love like, even with like my toothpaste, all the things, because I'm already eating chicken and eating meat, you know, because I love it. So I'm like, everything else that I can kind of control, because I'm like a little Flintstone. It's so bad. I love like steak. I'm like, so everything else that I feel like I have more control over, I'm really, really picky with. So I'm definitely going to order the sports one, because I am always like, I go out for my runs, and now I'm wearing like a visor, and it's funny. I actually had gone on a trip to China, and this is probably like 5 years ago. And I remember being in China, and like all the women wearing gloves when they were driving. They were all like caked up in sunblock in the middle of the street. I'm like, these people they don't even like rub it in. I don't even know. They're just like, you could see that they have sunblock. You could see that they, you know, they're wearing hats, and they walk around with umbrellas. Right. So I'm just like, you know, obviously they know what's going on. They're obviously really protecting themselves from the sun, and especially because of aging. Another thing that I always do is the same thing. When I use my sunblock, ever since that trip, not only do I apply sunblock on my face, but when I'm done, I apply it on the top of my hands. I'm so scared of getting old people hands.
You have to, and you also have to reapply it after so many minutes. It's only good for like so many minutes, like 80 minutes typically, like ours are 80 minutes. And then you have to reapply them. And so if you're, you know, sometimes like, and I'm guilty of it, I'll go and I'll put it on once, and then, you know, 7 hours later, I'm like, why am I burnt? It's like, okay, because I didn't reapply, you know, the sunblock. Even the spray ones, you know, for the body that are easy to, you spray it all over.
Right.
You don't reapply it after so long, you know, it's going to start to wear off, and you're going to need more.
Right. That's like a really good tip, because I actually, I do that. I put just my sunblock on in the morning, and then I think I'm covered for the day.
Right. And that Miami heat that Miami sun is like pretty intense, you know?
We also talk a lot about like the neck and décolleté as an area that women often forget to treat. And so when you're applying it to your face, it's super important to get your neck, décolleté, like you said, the back of your hands. And also too, sometimes people don't go like their full hairline. And that's also really important when you're like protecting your skin. And I just want to mention, we have a special code of Astrid Live for 20.
Oh, I want to write it down so I can do a post when we're done.
Yeah, and I should pin it. Hold on, I'm going to put it right here.
Astrid Live, and it's 25% off of our skin cream, our sunscreen. So for people who are watching, and we're talking about sunscreen and skincare, all of our sunscreens are 25% off with the code Astrid Live. We figured that would be great for Miami.
Yes, it would. And I'm telling you, we don't have sunblock. It is something that like the girls are always asking me about. Like, and I grabbed it when I opened the sunscreen. I also love the texture of it. I don't like that when I go to like CVS or something like that, that you buy this like sunscreen and it's like white and like and thick. I really don't like that. I really love like the texture of your sunscreen.
Yeah, like so nice. And to be honest, most sunscreens break me out, and ours does not. So I'm a huge fan of that. So for anyone who has sensitive skin or anything like that, The physical tint will not break you out. I haven't tried the sports defense on my face, just on my neck and chest. And
Yeah.
any issues with you?
No, it's great.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
I know.
Okay, for sure. I love it. I'm so excited. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, Astrid Life. Perfect. I'm gonna write this down so I could do it.
We have regimens for people that if they have acne, we have like products that go together for acne. If you're like prejuvenation and you're like, you know what, I don't want to get old. What are all the little things I need to do to like prevent all this aging? We have a regimen for that. If you're already in your 40s and you're seeing all that sun damage, we have a regimen for that. We have a men's regimen, just packages.
I love that.
Discounts for, to kind of get everything in one. But, I haven't had one negative feedback.
Either have I, yeah.
That's so good. That's so good. That's
Yeah.
amazing because I feel like women are so picky, and I'm like, dude, if you try a product and it's not, and everything is not for everybody. And this is what I tell girls. And now that I've been in this industry, I'm like, listen, everything is not for everybody. I'm not telling you you have to love my shampoo. I love my shampoo. I love my face wash. It is what it is. If you don't like it, it might not be for everybody, but it's amazing that you guys, are running this business and you guys are not getting any complaints, because women, we can be so damn picky.
So picky.
Right.
I mean, look, I love your shampoo and your thing too. I can see your hair looks so like silky smooth, and it reminds me of my hair when I used to get keratin in Miami. I had to do it because my hair was like triangle head, frizz.
And that's the goal. The goal, I think, is to get your skin and get your hair and to its healthiest state. So you don't have to be doing all those things. So you don't have to be doing the keratin. So you don't have to be doing, caking up your face with like pounds of makeup,
Oh, yeah.
So I think all those things are really important. And when you were saying, Ashley, about like the neck and the décolleté, like I had an esthetician that we did a call with. She's like, women, you have to remember that your face ends at your nipples. And that's stuck in my head. That's stuck in my head. Literally, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, my shirt is on, but I want to I'm like, because it is really important. We wrinkle up so much here. Mm-hmm. The sun, every time I'm out in the sun, it's like my chest is red. So it's so important, like you say, to apply that sunblock pretty much everywhere.
Because it catches up to you. And if you look at some people, they really focus on just right here as far as skincare, and then their neck doesn't match. And this area is all dotted up from the sun, and it doesn't, you can see that it's like off. Mm-hmm. So it's really, really important to treat everything.
Yeah, it doesn't match up.
It's one unit. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dr. Justin's like, great quote, Astrid. It wasn't mine. It's stolen. I'm not that clever, but your face ends at your nipples. That's all I know, and I sticks to my when I'm in my zone. So like that's another thing. I feel like when I really do my my skincare routine. So when I get out of the shower or whatever, I come out of the shower. I use my hair products. I use my skincare products. It just like. I'm on live. You guys aren't on Instagram. Why don't you get on my live instead? Ask me the questions here. It gets me off to like a better start. And like when you had sent me the thing that it was like, oh, like your beauty motto, I had really like thought about it, and I'm like, I don't think I really have one, but I feel like my favorite thing to say is when you look good, you feel good. Mm-hmm. I love that, and whatever it is, whether it's like getting up and like getting yourself together, throwing on a cute outfit, putting on a little bit of lipstick, like having your hair right. Like if you look good, you feel good. And I don't mean like you have to have a full face of makeup or you have to be wearing like a gown or anything like that. But ultimately, when you make that little effort to take care of yourself, I think like something in your mind just like it makes like a little shift, and it's like, you know what, you look better. You did your hair. Go ahead, step out, do something,
For sure.
So Astrid, tell us about your reality show that you were on. Astrid said that you had made a comment like you would never do that again. So tell us about
I just said it was interesting because, most people, they aspire to want to like maybe be a part of something like that. They think it's so cool and so glamorous, and like, I know I worked in TV for a long time, and the last word I would ever use to describe it is glamorous. You know what I mean? Because it was like so challenging for me. So I was like, we should ask her about it because that's like such a
Yeah.
unique experience, you know?
Yeah, I think everybody wants to like be famous until you get like a little bit of taste of it, and then it's like, do you really want to like sacrifice so much? And then also like like are you willing? I feel like in order to really like make it in that industry, you were almost like selling your soul to the devil type thing. Like it was like, how nasty can you really be to get more screen time, you know,
Right.
or like how much, you know, and it just didn't align with me and where I was trying to go. Ultimately, when, you know, it's crazy because when I get the phone call, you know, so my best friend tells me, hey, you know, there's this production company, they're casting for this new reality show. They had contacted me and, you know, they mentioned if I had any friends that they would be interested, that would be probably interested in doing this. I mentioned you and another one of my friends, super casual. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, of course, I'm down to do a reality show, you know. Then all of a sudden I'm meeting and getting contracts from E! Entertainment, and I'm like, okay. In my head, what I'm really thinking is I used to love like the hills, Laguna Beach, all that kind of stuff, right?
Right.
So that's in my head what I thought reality TV was. It really like it was dumb drama.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I could totally do this, right? And then once you are like in it, and then the drama is with you, it's completely different. And I'm not an actress. These are like my real emotions. You're attacking my real character. And I feel like it had taken me, it just took me and put me like in a really bad place. I had never ever experienced any type of like mental health issues or anything like that. I feel like on set, we had gone on a trip to Croatia, and I just felt like that was like the first time in my life that I experienced a panic attack. I didn't even know it was a panic attack. I thought I was getting like a heart attack. You know, I just went like, I blanked out, and I couldn't even breathe. And
Wow.
I just remember like locking myself in the room and just like, you know, saying like, I don't want to come out. And they're like, well, you pretty much have to. And I'm like, I don't want to, like, I quit. They're like, no, you signed a contract and you're in this, or if not, like, you're going to have to get an attorney to contact our attorneys because you're binded by a contract. And you're just like so stuck. And then I started experiencing anxiety. I started having like issues with the people that I really cared about because, you know, my business was all over the place. And then instead of it making like relationships stronger, I saw it like causing issues between the girls and their couple. And it just like, it wasn't like a healthy environment. It's a lot of gossip. And to me, I just felt like I'm not willing on sacrificing my mental health for anything in this world. I think, you know, mental health is really important. I think it's just as important as like physical health, anything, you know. So once I experienced that, I was like, you know, I don't think I'd ever do anything like this again. And that's why I love what I do now so much, because in everything I've done, it's always like a community, like it's always women being like so catty, so hurtful, like always like hating and talking shit about each other and trying to tear each other down. And that's kind of like how the TV show kind of was. And that's how pretty much everything that I was doing around women before was like that. And then now I'm in a community where I'm helping women and they're helping other women, and we're all just like helping and uplifting each other. And I just realized like everything happens for a reason. You know, I was like, it was like a stage in my life, but, and not that I regret it, because I feel like I did learn a lot. But if I had the opportunity to do it all over again, I definitely would not.
It's funny because like one of the things that I said to Dr. Sarah, and you mentioned like the community that you're, you know, motivating and everything like that. Now I was like, I'm a pretty motivated person, but Astrid like really motivates me, and she totally inspires me because I feel like she, as a woman, has it all together, whether it's business, personal, you know, like you're just so inspiring. And I was like, she is such a great account to follow because she just you can see how she pushes herself, and then that makes you want to push, you know, it makes me want to push myself. And I was like, she totally motivates me for sure. I was like, so we got to get her on. Like, we have to have her on.
Oh my goodness. Like that gets me like so emotional because, you know, ultimately like we put on Instagram like the best version of ourselves, you know, like we ultimately like I take 100 pictures and you know I have my little sister or my best friend like on the floor rolling around getting the best angle, and like we always put like the best version of ourselves, right? And sometimes like I tell myself, you know, Astrid, like you have to be like really who you are, be like authentic, you know, be like you have to like I don't want to give people like any like false expectations thinking that you have to like always be perfect or always be on point or always be a certain way, you know, but I really do want to motivate people and like I show up daily for like for my team for on Instagram or whatever it is because I know that there's other accounts that like really motivate me, but I also understand that, you know, we all struggle, you know, like I seem to have it all together, but there's times that I'm sitting at home and this COVID is driving me crazy. And it's even like hard for me to like, you know, and I find myself to be an extremely like, I have like an internal motivation. Like I wake up, my friends are like, do you drink coffee? And I'm like, no. And they're like, holy shit, because you don't shut up. Like, and I'm like, I know. So like I wake up motivated and sometimes I know that it's like, hard for me to get to the gym or to actually get to my computer or to actually finish my patient reports or whatever it is. So I understand that like people out there like need it. They need that motivation because I'm always looking for it. I'm always looking for motivation like in the randomest ways. I'm like, you know, whether it's a podcast, another Instagram account, a book or something like in little things that I do like just with myself, you know, before I used to have like my monthly calendar in my office. Now I moved it to my room. I literally wake up and it's like Monday. And then when I see all the shit I have to get done, I'm like, okay, I'm up. Like I can't even snooze the clock, you know? So, thank you. And your page is also very motivating. I also keep up with yours. I see what you're doing and I love it, you know, and it's crazy because, you know, sometimes you have to filter your Instagram. I tell people this too, right? You have to make sure that what you're following is healthy.
For sure. Yeah.
Especially nowadays, because now I'm like, dude, every time you open social media, it's something negative. And at some point, I understand we need to know what's going on in the world, but at some point I feel like we need to change the narrative a little bit for ourselves. Because if not, I mean, I don't know. Like, what do you guys do to like disconnect from everything that's going on?
I know. I mean, I think it's like the people in your life, your relationships, you know, that's how I kind of get away is, you know, I call up the girls, you know, I'm like,
I put my phone down and we turn off the TV and we just kind of do the basics. I have a puzzle on the table right now. My son and I were doing it later, you know, just like the basic stuff.
Right. Go back to like, just like ground yourself. So yeah, I actually, you know, when you had sent me like a couple of topics that we were going to talk about, I had written my notes on the phone, and before the call started, I was like, oh my gosh, this is on live, so I'm not going to be able to go to my phone. So I wrote down like little notes, and now I'm like staring at them.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted to ask if you guys have like, do you guys do Botox?
Yes.
Were you guys? Okay, perfect. So have you guys like heard about Xeomin?
Yes.
Okay, so I wanted to know your opinion because for a little bit now, I've decided to just stick to Xeomin instead of Botox. And I wanted to hear like other opinions.
The medical version of it?
Yeah.
So, you know, there's 4 neurotoxins on the market really that are popular in the United States. Xeomin's one of them. It's by a company named MERS. And then there's Dysport with Galderma, Botox with Allergan, and a new one called Jeuveau with Evolus. So those are the 4 big ones that we've had through the office. And, you know, for us, when we, you know, place and inject, we wait to see what kind of results that we get. The one nice thing about Xeomin is that it doesn't have to be refrigerated. So we can just keep it on the shelf. We don't have to think about the refrigeration and the whole process and things like that. The one issue that we found, just personal, you know, experience was that it didn't last quite as long as the other ones. So we stopped carrying it.
Correct. So it doesn't last as long as Botox, right?
But they're all neurotoxins. So if they're They all bind to the same receptor. They're just a little bit of a chemical difference between them. And yeah, Xeomin's a little bit of a smaller product, smaller molecule, and just tends not to last quite as long as Botox or Dysport.
I actually have noticed that though. I
Yeah.
feel like it's like sometimes when I used to do my Botox, it would last me longer. So I think when it comes to like the financial aspect of it, if you're paying, because is it around the same price that the people pay for Xeomin and Botox?
Yeah, most people pay the same price no matter what neurotoxin you get. It's the fact that you're just getting the neurotoxin.
Right.
You know,
So I think, you know, if you're going to pay around the same thing, might as well just go for the one that lasts long.
Right.
Right. And, you know, in reality, though, if you constantly get Botox, say you've gotten Botox for the last 5 years, and all of a sudden you're like, you know, I'm noticing it doesn't last quite as long. It's not lasting me 3 months. It's now lasting me 2.5 months or 2 months. That's when it's a good time to switch to, say, Dysport. Dysport's a great product as well. I love it. I
love
personally
Dysport, yeah.
And it kicks in a little quicker than Botox and lasts for the same amount of time. Some people say it lasts a little bit longer. But, you know, it's a good to switch to that, use that for a while, switch back to Botox or whatever. Just bounce back and forth between those two products.
I think
kind of like you said, you had
I go back and
mentioned,
forth.
you don't use the same hair product all the time. You know, because
right, I alternate
sometimes-
between my shampoos all the time. I'm always like switching. I'm trying different combos. I feel like I'm doing like like it's happy hour, different cocktails.
Right.
So it's kind of
I'm gonna try Dysport. I wish you guys were in Miami.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
I like Dysport.
You like
I go back
Dysport?
and forth between that and Botox, and I do notice that Dysport lasts longer on me, and it definitely kicks in a lot quicker for me than Botox.
You know, when my husband first finished his plastic surgery residency, you know, it was up in Michigan. We moved back to Miami. So our training was in Miami. We moved away for 2 years and we came back and we went right back into our place in South Beach. And he decided to, you know, open up a practice. He decided to open it up in Fort Lauderdale, right on the intercoastal. And so he was driving all the way up to Fort Lauderdale every single day and wasn't actually in Miami, you know?
I absolutely love Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
All my friends are like, girl, you're the biggest Fort Lauderdale. I actually think that if I do move out of Miami, I think it would be Fort Lauderdale. I think like my future is in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love Fort Lauderdale. I love the vibe. I love everything about it.
And it's not as crowded and it's easier to get around and everything's right there.
And the beach is right there and the beach is so beautiful. Let me see. I want to see. I feel like Dysport and Botox are very similar in the outcome. Okay, yeah. I really want to try Dysport.
Yeah, you should.
I'm going to try that next time. Next time I'm definitely doing Dysport. Okay, another thing that I love doing, which is like in my to-do, like this I love doing, is radio frequency. My face. So I feel like that's like another beauty thing that I like live by when people, so I haven't done any fillers yet, which I feel like eventually I'm going to come around to it, but right now I'm like staying away.
If you don't need it, you don't need it.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm staying away from it. But radio frequency, I think, has been what's helped me stay away from it, because I wanted to do filler on my expression lines. And, you know, they told me, why don't you try like sticking to radio frequency? And I'm like, you know, I feel like when I hear those things about machines and lasers, I always think they're fake, because I try to do like that cryo lipo thing. All that stuff doesn't work. Like I feel like the results, like I'm sorry, like I tried it and it wasn't effective at all. So whenever it comes to all those laser things, I'm very like skeptical about it, but for some reason radio frequency has really been a hit for me. So do you think, like, how long do you, well, I mean, you would be a magician, because I'd be like, how long do you think I could pull it off with just radio frequency?
So the radio frequency that they're using, does it feel like a hot stone massage, or is it like, do you come out looking like like you had laser?
No, it almost feels like a hot stone massage, but I did oil therapy. I don't know if you've heard of oil therapy. So I did oil therapy, and I feel like that was like a real game changer for me. Like I feel like this, like it really like tightened me up.
So We have two different kinds of radio frequency in the office. We have one that's like a hot stone massage. And that is supposed to heat the underlying tissue to tighten over time. The second is surface radio frequency, where it resurfaces the skin and sort of shrink wraps you as well. And so can you?
The stream is counting down. It says we have
we only
5
have
seconds left.
6 seconds left.